And we've just sort of given a little bit of foreshadow to what I think we should talk about next, which is change. That was a very clear moment of change, not only for me, but ultimately for our approach to a lot of things in our life. And I think these moments where we go from the ease of a relationship to the work of a relationship, they often come around change. We are not the same person. We are not the same couple that we were in our 20s, in our 30s, 40s, now 50s. Like change is something that evolves. So how do we manage change? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, as you were saying, we're not the same people. I'm like, good. There is
I take a little bit of offense at that. I was pretty good in my 20s.
You were
what are
fabulous,
you
and I was fabulous. However, right? Who wants to be stuck, stagnant, whatever word you want to choose, in the same spot for decades after decades? You start questioning, hey, what's going on here if we're the same people? So it's good. The thing about it is, I think the hard part about the change is noticing and acknowledging that the other person has made a change and adapting to that, kind of like relearning each other. It was just a different phase. For instance, I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, we talked in an earlier episode about, I don't want to call you a hothead, but your emotions came out a lot faster and a lot stronger, intense when we were in our 20s.
Oh, I definitely was a hothead in my, yes. We met each other in high school. And in high school, I was absolutely an emotional hothead, and probably even still into college and then early 20-somethings. And so, yeah, I am definitely much more regulated on that front.
You're regulated, but I had to learn how to, I don't want to say deal with that because that sounds negative. It sounds like a negative. I had to relearn. Before, I didn't have to guess. I knew right off how you were feeling because you expressed it pretty intensely. I knew if you were happy, if you were excited, if you were angry, if you were frustrated.
Right. And let's be clear, my anger was never outwardly directed at you. It was usually like
you never had an anger management program.
Correct, exactly.
But you were more likely to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just the way it came out. But no, it was never directed.
I just want to be clear as we're having a relationship discussion here and you're talking about anger and I was like, let's just be clear.
Emotions were closer.
Correct. Whereas
through the years that has changed. You're not. And so I have to pay more attention. I have to be more in tune than I used to. I didn't really have to think about it. I'm going to know what Michael's feeling. Now I have to pay closer attention. And body posture, facial expressions, quiet, not saying something is almost as impactful as saying something for you.
Sure.
What you've become. But I had to relearn that. I was so used to you just telling me what you were feeling, what your thoughts were. And now there's a bit more, it's different.
Yeah, for sure. And you're ironically a little bit different because you used to hold stuff really close to the vest and you would go weeks without me knowing there's any sort of issue. And then it would come out in a flood of tears or whatever. And now you're much more clear where you just tell me what's going on. Now, I was going to say, but a big difference now is that I know when there's something going on, so I'm asking you about it. I'm not letting you sit and stew on it. Whereas before, in my 20s and 30s, I didn't have the awareness that you were dealing with something. And that could be a relational conflict, but it could also be a personal issue you're dealing with or a work-related issue. You would just keep a lot of those.
Like today.
Like today, yeah. Melissa had a very rough day at work today. And we'll get to this, but one of our daily rituals is we take a walk, and it's a very intentional daily check-in. And I mean, I knew in the first 30 seconds when she came into the office after work that she had a bad day, but I didn't jump on it. We wait till our walk, and then it's like, all right, how was your day? Because I know already, so go ahead and release the words because they're coming.
Right, yeah. And I think you even commented, you've been kind of quiet. How was work today?
Yeah.
Knowing where it came from, because that's all I did today was work. So
yeah. So I think recognizing that change is inevitable, the willingness and the intentionality of relearning your partner, growing with them, and then also helping them manage through change. So I was very clear in the inked moment that I wanted to change in an area. And I'm not one who comes to you with big changes that often. So when I come with a big change, it's something that I think relationally you're like, oh, we need to think about this and we need to figure out what our plan is on this. Now, in your relationship, you might be much less consistent with that. You might have a person who has big ideas all the time, and you got to sift through and figure out, when is it really something that matters, or is it just the wild hair that they're chasing? Or you might have your own dynamics, but the idea or the importance there is to not hold on to the person you married, but realize that that person is going to change over time and that you're going to change as well. And how do you navigate that change together?
Yeah. And along those lines, I tell people a lot. I know other people that have had long relationships, and some grow together and some grow apart. And so it's not uncommon for things to end after, 20 or 30 years, because people grew apart and I think they didn't acknowledge and didn't adapt to the person that they are now. They were kind of stuck on that. Well, you didn't used to be like this. Well, I should hope not. I was 20. Now I'm 50.
Right. And if you are feeling that stress in your relationship, it might very well be because you're not recognizing the change. Right. So that's putting a name to the feeling that you're having, where it's not easy anymore. We're disconnected. We're not aligned. Well, you're changing.
Yeah.
And are you recognizing that change in each other?